Keith, you may have heard it's just 4 days until NBA free agency, 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Kevin Durant has declined his $31.5 million player option as expected, making him an unrestricted free agent. He's currently in New York with his business manager, Rich Kleiman, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, who also reports that he's considering a number of scenarios, including staying with Golden State. In addition, New York, Brooklyn, and the LA Clippers believed to be in consideration. Every team pursuing KD is expected to offer him a max contract, and regardless of where he signs, he's going to make nearly $40 million next season as part of that deal while he sits rehabbing his ruptured Achilles. But here's where things change. If he stays with Golden State, KD would get a 5-year max worth over $220 million. $50 million in the final year when he's 35 years old. Now, if he chooses to sign with another team, his max would equate to $164 million over 4 years. Just a mind-boggling numbers and choices so he can stay with a known commodity, play in the new arena, sit there in rehab and contend for a championship again, or he can rehab somewhere else, recruit, build a team. Lots of choices. How are they going about this decision?
Well, Kevin Durant has had time since the injury to kind of recalibrate what it all means to spend next year rehabbing, how that might impact his decision. And, you know, he and his business manager, Rich Kleiman, they've kept their circle tight, and they have tried to, play through all the scenarios here and have a sense of where they want to go. As we reported today, they informed the Warriors in the last day or two that they were declining that player option, which was expected. You know, $31 million. He will start a new deal on a new contract at $38 million next season.
All right, so to be continued. Now, the news that came to the forefront yesterday that we led our show with at the Houston Rockets are trying to convince Jimmy Butler and many others, because it's going to take a lot for this deal to happen, to assign and trade to come to Houston, working with Philly and other teams. So what's the latest there?
Yeah, Daryl Morey, their general manager in Houston, has spent yesterday, today, calling around the league, offering up, you know, three players individually, Clint Capella, Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, trying to send them to teams in the salary cap space, get back a first-round pick, and then be able to use that as a package to try to go to Philadelphia on Sunday night, go to Jimmy Butler and say, hey, tell the team you want to be traded to us. If they won't trade you to us, that you'll sign with a team that has that cap space, and we will lose, and they'll lose you for nothing. But Philadelphia remains confident that they can re-sign both Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris, who, you know, both players are going to command max deals in the marketplace. They could give Jimmy Butler 5 years on a max deal. Houston can only do 4. But Daryl Morey is going to be aggressive. He doesn't have the cap space, but he's trying to find a creative way to bring in a third star to go with Chris Paul, James Harden.
All right, coming up more this hour, we're going to weigh in on Kyrie Irving, Marc Gasol news today. A lot to talk about. Woj, thanks.
Thanks, Anna.
To Kyrie Irving.
Brooklyn side, they're only interested in Kyrie Irving if Kevin Durant comes along. It's like you're inviting a friend, but you really want them to bring that other friend.
As intriguing as the possibility of them pairing up in Brooklyn is, just how long would it take for their friendship, relationship to implode?
The Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and you can always get in touch with the show through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed.
If you missed any of the opening segment, go check it out on demand in the Stephen A. Smith podcast. Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment, 2% at grocery stores, and 1% on all other purchases. Hey, what's in your wallet? Also, need seats to a game? Download the Vivid Seats app and enter promo code CHAMPS at checkout to get 10% off your first order. Don't buy just any seat. Get a Vivid seat. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. My brother Champ from Detroit. Haven't spoken to you in a few weeks. What's up, big baby? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Well,
talk to me.
The time is here. I said it September 26th of last year that he will hijack LeBron's fake run his entire career. Kevin Durant will be going to the number one market, New York. It's like a bidding war from what I'm hearing. Rich Kleiman, obviously, with Rock Nation, Jay-Z, been with the Brooklyn Nets, and then you got Scott Perry and Steve Mills over at the New York Knicks.
Wait a minute now.
Hold
on. You ain't say nothing about no bidding war. What you said was the Knicks. Now, if it's a bidding war and it's changed, tell us it's changed, champ, before I tell the world what your last name is and where you live. Now, right now you go. Now, say it. Say it with your chest, bro. Say it with your chest.
Listen, I've been on record.
Right, go ahead.
And called the New York Knicks, but I'm like you now. Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it. I'm just messing with you. You know that. We know what time it was, and we know what time it is. Well, go ahead.
But I do want to say this, though. No, seriously. Sure. We know some of the same people. And I'm hearing the Nets got a legitimate shot because of the relationship with Sean Carter, Rich Kleiman, and the Brooklyn Nets.
Right. You're right.
But I'm telling you this. It's a foregone conclusion. It will be a New York-LA NBA Finals for the next 3 years.
A New York-LA Finals? Now, let me ask you this question. Interesting question. I'm just throwing it your way. Why do you say that? Is it because of KD or because you think Kyrie will be wherever KD goes?
I believe that with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. I just believe this. I think LeBron, with no Kevin Durant, gets to the NBA Finals with Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis next season will be the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. And I think
it's going to be LeBron. I think it's going to be LeBron, but go ahead.
Well, it's like, to me, when I look at LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I look at the new version of Kevin Garnett and Scottie Pippen, point two. So I'm going to take KG, who can play the pick and roll, who's a better all-around player as far as everything that goes along with it. He will be the go-to guy down the stretch because LeBron can't hit free throws and he doesn't have a pull-up jump shot consistently. So I would take AD over LeBron. That's another question. That being said, I think if Kevin Durant can get a hold of John Stockton and Karl Malone's trainer that was all at Utah, he's like a chiropractor. I believe Durant can come back next season, no matter where they are, with Kyrie and some more help. Whether it's Brooklyn or the New York Knicks, I think the Knicks or the Nets will make the NBA Finals against the Lakers, and I think they'll beat them in 7 games.
Okay. Well, while I got you on the phone, because you always bug me about basketball anyway, where you think Kemba Walker going to end up?
Well, honestly, I don't have no intel on it, but I will.
I'm not interested in your intel. You ain't no journalist. All right, I don't want to hear. You know a little something here and there, but you get to hide when you're wrong. So I just want your opinion. I just want your opinion. I just want your opinion. Go ahead.
But hey, speaking of that, we'll get to that. But I think Kemba, he may go to Boston or wherever.
I don't like that. I don't like him in Boston. I don't want him in Boston.
Or he may end up with the Lakers.
He won't settle less. He won't settle less. Now, he ain't going to get the Supermax from Michael Jordan in Charlotte, not in that market. But because he's in a position to get $221 million, I think what you're going to find is a situation where Kemba Walker could get close to $200 million. And considering that that's the reality, why go someplace else where you're going to have to settle for considerably less, particularly if the Lakers don't even have the 4-year max to offer you?
I agree, but I do want to throw this out here. You were talking about the media with the $30 million with Klay Thompson. And I'm going to say this. The problem with that is this. The NBA, as well as the National Football League, they have a weak union. The leadership in the union department in the NFL and the NBA is so weak. It's like an elementary teacher running the players.
It's interesting that you say that. It's interesting that you say that. I will say this. I am a fan of Michelle Roberts. I think she's an absolutely. Let me finish. I think she's an absolutely wonderful woman as executive director of the Players Association. She didn't really have experience in that realm until she became the executive director of the Players Association. I will say this. The relationship with the NBA does seem a bit cozy, doesn't it, John? It does seem a little bit. I mean, you never hear of any friction going on between the Players Association and the NBA. Now, at least with DeMaurice Smith in the NFL, I mean, granted, they could do a better job than giving the NFL owners core certainty by giving them 10-year deals with no outs whatsoever, which to me was utterly ridiculous. You don't sign for more than 6 years without an out. You just don't do that the way things change in our society today. But at least DeMaurice Smith and Roger Goodell clearly don't get along with each other. At least you know that when DeMaurice Smith caves, it's because he's got a body of 1,800 players to answer to, as opposed to Roger Goodell just having 32 owners. At least there is some friction. I mean, with the NBA and the Players Association, I mean, they do have a very, very nice relationship with each other.
But let me just throw this out here.
That's just my personal thing.
You would never hear in the Major League Baseball where a guy is going to leave $40 to $50 million on the table to chase a ring. The union would not buy it. And that's why the NBA and the NFL, I don't care because they're black and a black woman and a black male, they're weak. And guess what? They're convincing these players to take less money to win games. With Major League Baseball, they're going to take that $400 million on the spot. They don't care if they win 5 games or 100 games, and they're going to get their money first because it's a business first. These guys are like Kevin Durant has $57 million, and you have folks up here debating on, well, he can make it up over here. Guess what? He should do a sign and trade to the Nets or the New York Knicks and get his money. And the union should stand behind that instead of making all these guys take less money. It's ridiculous.
I got you. Appreciate you, man. Good to hear from you, man. You take it easy. We'll holler. Let's go to Rob. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Rob? Good to hear from you, brother. Rob, are you there?
Hello?
Rob, are you there?
I'm here.
There you go. There you go, Rob. What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm good. We debated on Monday.
Yeah.
You said play the tape about Kyrie and Kawhi.
Yep.
It took a lot of legwork, a lot of hours, but I got the tape. Stephen A. You ready?
Go ahead, bro. Real quick.
I mean, I think my outfit looks better than the Brooklyn Nets jerseys, personally. But I will be in the house. I have no fix in this game. I don't give a damn who wins, but I do think Brooklyn's gonna win tonight. I tell you this much: I don't know who's gonna win tonight. I think Brooklyn's gonna win tonight. Brooklyn and Philadelphia are splitting the next.
I got. Stop that. Just turn the tape off. Turn the tape off, Rob. Turn the tape off, Rob. Listen, I'll take your word for it, but that wasn't what we were talking about. But go ahead, make your point. It's okay. It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll take your word for it, but you know where I was coming from. But go ahead and make your point, bro. Because I can't let you mess up with my radio show with bad sound. That just don't sound right. I'd rather hear your voice. Go ahead, Rob.
Nah, that was it, Stephen A. I just wanted to let you know I'm passionate about my debates and points just like you. And
Rob,
I would never, I would never misrepresent.
Well, let me say this to you.
Be wrong.
Well, let me say this to you, Rob. Do I ever hesitate to put you on?
Never.
Ain't you family with the show, bro?
I'm a hometown kid.
I'm saying, but ain't you family with the Stephen A. Smith show? That's what I'm asking you. All right, then it's all love, baby. That's all. You make me better. You make me better, man.
Hey, listen, I'm the ultimate fan. I'm the fan that gets you the ratings because I'm the ultimate listener. Other than and it's not just you. I like to hear from Champ from Detroit, my man King in L.A., King and Chris from L.A., Mike from Denver,
LJ in Houston. Let's not forget him.
Yes, and my man Carlton from Tampa.
I know my crew,
Carlton.
Carlton.
To hear these brothers
no doubt.
And voice their opinions. Yeah, I love the show, Stephen A. Thank God for the show. I mean, my mother says she's gonna call the show because she wants to know how do you get me to listen to you, but I don't listen to her.
You know what? You know what? Are you trying to tell me Mama Rob listens to the show? Is that what you're telling me?
She said she's gonna call the show. She wants to know how my son listens to you, but I can't get him to listen to me.
Man, you tell Mama Rob she can call up anytime she wants. That's all she got to say. She Mama Rob. I'll know exactly who she is. She call up anytime, bro. She call up anytime. Okay. Mama Rob, John. Remember that. Remember that. Mama Rob.
I will, brother.
All right, my man. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate the love. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. We'll continue talking about NBA free agency in just a minute. Don't touch that dial. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News. By the way,